that. Sorry if I'm like out of breath a little bit. You know, some of you guys mommies who are pregnant or have been pregnant know that when you talk a lot, you seem to run out of air. You have no, like your breath kind of goes away. That's why like my voice is kind of like shaky in between some of the videos. And I do apologize. That's just a pregnancy. Today I've been feeling a little bit under the weather where I'm not feeling so good. These morning sicknesses today have really kicked my butt. I was able to actually get up and tend the kids a little bit, do a little bit of things with them, a little cleaning, a little playing. I was gonna take them to the park, but it started raining. But then I ended up putting them down for a nap just because I started feeling like crap even more. I ended up taking a nap myself. I don't know if that did good or bad because now I feel worse. I need to actually get ready soon to start making dinner for my husband as soon as he gets off of work, get the kids into a bath, feed them, and get them into bed soon. Well, not soon, but when is their bedtime? But, yeah. I'm gonna start off from where before we found out we were pregnant. Okay, so I was working 2 jobs, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. From 6 p.m., I would go home, get some rest, shower up. Then at 7:30, go to my second job. Then at 12 a.m., get off, come home. It was just me and my fiance at that time. We were both working. It was just us home. We really needed the money, so that's why we were working doubles and doing a lot of extra timing at work. We were young, so it's like we would spend money here and there. So it's like we just wanted extra money for fun and, you know, things like that. We were trying to save, trying to be smart, but you know, when you're young, you just go out and have fun. Be young. Me and my fiance, well, now my husband, we're trying for 4 years. This was at the time. For 4 years. Our son is 4 years old. And nothing would ever happen. Like, every time we would try, nothing. I was always wondering if it was just me or was it him or what's exactly going on. It would stress us out a lot because we knew what we really wanted was a family. That's why we were working so hard for it, because we honestly didn't just want to bring a baby into this world knowing that we could not afford it or we were going to be living from paycheck to paycheck, that, you know, that we can't give this baby everything that it wants or needs. So that's why we set our mind for it. We knew we were physically ready just because we were trying to save up so much money so that, you know, I can have one job and we would be okay with him working his job and, you know, a family member babysitting the baby for a few hours so that I could go to school. So we went to the doctors and we checked to find out if it was me. Sorry, Chris. Okay, mommy. Sorry. So we went to the doctors and we found out that it was me, the case. The case of the fact that I couldn't have a baby was because I have suffered from thyroid disease where my medications were over the top high just to the fact of how my levels of thyroids were. It wasn't allowing me to get pregnant. So I explained to her how long we've been trying and everything. She said sometimes it happens. Most people can't get pregnant right away. It takes them a little bit of time to. Some people just don't catch their ovulation date right. Sometimes it changes. So she told me to like download this app on my phone. She said to like it tracks your ovulation dates and stuff like that to try more or less on that time when I feel like I'm ovulating. I was like, okay, so I tried it and it wasn't working. I went back and I explained to her, I was like, listen, it's not working, you know, can I get a test done? And she was like, we did the test or whatever. She's like, you're fine. It's just your thyroids. It's not gonna let you get pregnant as fast. Some people get pregnant right away and some people can't. It's just like with the thyroid disease disorder, with your medication being so high, it's gonna affect you. So I was like, well, what can we do? She's like, I can try to lower your dose to see more or less if that's the case. So she lowered my dose. We tried and tried, nothing. I just told my fiance at that time, I was like, you know, I give up. I was like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I was like, one day we would be blessed with the baby. And either way, my plans were to adopt if anything came to worse, where I've always wanted to do it since a little girl, to adopt a baby to help out. But out of a sudden, as we gave up, a few months later, I noticed myself a little bit like sleepy, tired, like overly tired, like where I'm like, wait, this is not myself, because I'm normally that type of person where like, let's go, when you call me like, let's go to the mall, I'm there, or let's go do this, I'm there. So it's like, I never like being home. That's why I work 2 jobs too. Out of a sudden, it was just dragging me down like, whoa, maybe it is the medication since she lowered the dose down. Maybe it's like really affecting me now, where it's making me feel so silly, being like so tired. Like, that's one thing, I never got morning sicknesses. Ever. I was always so thirsty. I was like, what is going on? Like, one thing, I hate water. So it's like, for me to act like to go buy cases of water and keep them in my house and chug them down like if they're freaking like Gatorades or something, like that's weird. So then I was like, you know, I was explaining to my best friend at that time, I was like, you know, I'm so tired, I can't do this no more. I'm like getting so exhausted with working 2 jobs. She was like, you sure? Because you haven't been acting yourself lately neither. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you just like haven't gotten like there, like you're just so tired now, like I can notice it. I was like, yes, exactly. So then all of a sudden she's like, I think you're pregnant. I was like, no, there's no way. I was like, I've gone to doctors, we've tried and tried. There's no hope, it's a hit or miss. I was like, we just gave up. I was like, I would know if I'm pregnant. I know my body. I was like, my time of the month is coming, so stop. And she's like, okay. So I was like, watch, it's coming next week. Just for the fact that I was getting so much cramps. And she was like, okay, whatever. So then I was just like, okay. So then a week later, I'm like, okay, it's time for my time of the month. Nothing. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just stressing over working 2 jobs now. I was like, maybe I just need some time off from my job. So I thought about it before I even like did anything. I went grocery shopping and I was like, you know, let me pass by this aisle. I was passing down the aisle with my cart and I passed by the pregnancy test aisle and I was like, should I pick one up and try it and see if it's positive? So I actually decided to grab a pregnancy test. So I took it home. I hurried up and tried it at home. It came out blank, where there was nothing on there. So I'm just like, this is weird. I mean, I've taken pregnancy tests before, but they just all came out negative before. So it's just like where I didn't want to do that and put my hopes up and be like, oh, we're going to be pregnant this time, because I have always seemed to do that and I ended up being a failure, where you end up being so destroyed inside, so sad. You don't know exactly what's going on with you. Like, it's stressing with you and your partner, because like you guys have your hopes up and your emotions all going. And so I thought it was gonna be the same thing this time. I was just like, oh, okay. So I threw it away, and then I explained to my best friend, I was like, listen, I ended up taking a pregnancy test. you made me think that I was pregnant, so, and I waited a week, and I was like, and I'm late, I still haven't gotten my time of the month. So she was like, try the other one first thing in the morning, like they say first morning urine is the best. I'm like, okay. So I got home. When I got home, you know, woke up early in the morning, did what I had to do, took my pregnancy test, and a few seconds later, it showed that I was positive. I was like, there's no way. So I hurried up, jumped in the bed, and like screamed at him, we're pregnant. And it was just like an amazing moment for us to like share together. It was like so hard to believe that we were pregnant after so many months of trying and so many years of trying as well. And it finally came true. But that's why